Good morning, Swamp Box Bookstore fans and readers. Coming live to you from the store this morning. Been busy doing some paperwork here, bringing in some last minute special orders that have come in time. And I'm so excited to have you in the store in about an hour. And we're here until 7 o'clock tonight. And then tomorrow we'll be here from 1 to 7. And then on Saturday, we will be here from 10 a.m. until 4. And so I know that we're getting to the final days before the big holidays. And we're coming up on a winter break for us here at the store as well. As somebody reminded me, I have not taken a day off really since we opened in this location. I went on vacation right after we moved in. That had nothing to do really with work, and then came back and threw everything into getting this new location off the ground and doing all of our amazing events that we had this year. So thank you for your support, and we're going to keep on keeping on here at this new location at 1375 7th Avenue, Suite A. You've made it a dream come true to have this bigger space. So we're in the process of planning some events that will, now that we've kind of experienced the space for going on a year, we'll have a better idea of the types of events that we can host here, and we're going to try some new things too. So stay tuned for that. So some of our picks for the holidays, if you have not been in the store, I wanted to kind of touch on those today. Some of the books we're excited about that might make good gifts for the readers in your life. And so I wanted to start, I've got a couple, I've got a middle grade book, some YA, and of course some adult books that I've read and enjoyed this year. I want to start with Crushing It by Erin Becker. This came out earlier this year. This is a middle grade book or early YA book about a young girl and her first crush, and there's soccer involved, very action-packed. Erin is from this area originally, and we just happen to have a few signed copies, and she dropped some bookmarks off for us. So this is a great title for those middle grade kids or young teens that are interested in sports, maybe falling in love for the first time, and having a little bit of a crush. I think this is a great book for them. And like I said, we have signed copies available, and bonus, Erin is originally from this area. So excited that we have few of these copies in stock. For those of you who haven't had a chance to meet Jen Ferguson, we've done a couple of events with her this past year. She has written some amazing YA books, and we have some signed copies of her books in stock as well, including those Pink Mountain Nights, which came out a year ago. And this is about a group of teens and just their struggles, everyday struggles, working at a pizza joint in their small town, surrounding the decision for the owner to perhaps sell the place. And it's a place they love to work, and it's a place they love to gather, and some decisions that are made around that. So highly recommend those Pink Mountain Nights by Jen Ferguson. We have a few signed copies in stock. We also have paperback copies in stock as well, if you're not a fan of hardcover. So this is a YA book, contemporary YA. We did an event at the beginning of December and with Clara McKenna, and I should have grabbed your other books as well. So we have the latest book in the Stella and Lindy series, which is set in Scotland. It does involve golf. There is some golf in it. Even if you're not a golf fan, you will enjoy this delightful murder mystery. Cozy. Clara is from Iowa, so we enjoy having her come every year to talk about her new books and celebrate the release. So the next book she shared will be coming out about this time next year, and we hope that she'll be back, and it will take place in the United States. So Stella and Lindy are going on a short overseas trip. We have 2 signed copies of this in stock still. So get over here, order it online if you want one of the 2 signed copies we have left from our event. One of the books I read this year, and we've got a cool event coming up next month, is Stanley Tucci's What I Ate in 1 Year and Related Thoughts. This is a diary memoir that Stanley wrote that chronicles what he ate and did for an entire year. If you are a fan of taste, if you're a fan of Stanley's show in Italy, if you're a fan of his cookbooks, if you're just a fan of him in general, you'll definitely want to pick up What I Ate in 1 Year. once again, I have a limited number of signed copies of this available. I think I only have 2 left in stock. So if you've got a Stanley Tucci fan in your life, or maybe you are, highly recommend picking up this copy. We are doing an event next month again with Gia's Italian Kitchen at the Marion Public Library. So if you head over to the library's website, there's some details about that event. You can RSVP. And if you pre-order this book or taste or the cookbook that we're featuring at that event on January 9th, which there's still space available when I checked yesterday for that event, it does require an RSVP through the library's website. There's a coupon code for you to get 20% off either What I Ate in 1 Year taste or the cookbook that Stanley Tucci cookbook will be featuring at that event. So head over to the Marion Public Library's website for those details and for that coupon code. So 2 copies of this left in stock if you need a signed copy. I'm going to jump over to some kids' holiday books and one adult holiday book before I talk about one of my top reads for the year. We have copies of Winter Light by Aaron Becker in stock. This was shared by one of the other people that was on Iowa Public Radio with me talking about kids' holiday books or kids' books for 2024. This is a board book. It talks about the changing of the light during this season. Winter solstice is coming up on Saturday. And it's got these beautiful cutouts in the shape of a snowflake. And then when you get in here, there's these plastic colored ones here that kind of layer and create some cool effects, and when you hold them up to the light you can see the light through them. There we go. So it's really a fun book about the changing of the light during this time of year. So one of my favorite overall holiday books this year is written by the incredible Jane Yolen and Heidi Stempel and illustrated by Jiet Chin, called We Celebrate the Light. So this is not just about Christmas and it's not just about Hanukkah. It's about all of the holidays worldwide that are celebrated during this time of year. And it reads like a beautiful picture book. It's got these amazing illustrations in it, but then each holiday is talked about as well, with a little short description about what the holiday celebrates and what that holiday is all about. So I love this book because of its diversity. I love that it shows how we are all connected during these different celebratory times of the year. And it's just a beautiful book to look at. And we sold several copies of this, and it's super fun, and by a couple of my favorite authors. And for those of you that are fans of funny murder mysteries or books that kind of poke fun at tropes, we still have copies of Everyone This Christmas Has a Secret by Benjamin Stevenson. This is a continuation of Ernest's story. He travels to try to help his ex-wife out of a murder charge. Super short, great if you're celebrating, giving books on Christmas Eve. You could easily get this one done in one short day. So I do love Everyone This Christmas Has a Secret, and I'm planning to tuck in with it on Christmas Eve as well. So I've kind of been saving this one to read on Christmas Eve. So I'm excited. And Benjamin recently did an interview with the Killer Author Club with Heather Gudenkauf and Kira and Kimberly. So you can head over, I shared that last week, or you can head over to the Killer Author Club Facebook page and watch their interview with Benjamin. It was super fun, and you can learn more about his books and about his protagonist, Ernest Cunningham, and his penchant, I guess, for finding dead bodies wherever he goes. One of my favorite books this year, and everybody that has read it that I've put it in their hands this year agrees it's one of the best books that they've read this year, and it really sticks with them. And that is The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown. This is a beautifully designed book as well. It's got this beautiful gold foil and dark blue cover. There's beautiful end papers. There's decal edges for those of you that like the rough paged edges. And this is, the publisher says it's for fans of The Midnight Library and Addie LaRue and The Night Circus. Definitely works with all those titles, has all that kind of magical feel in it. It is about a young woman who works in a bookstore in New York. One night in the winter, one of her elderly patrons that comes and visits quite frequently passes away in the shop and leaves her a book. she soon discovers that that book will open portals in space. So, like any good New Yorker who hates traveling through the city, her and her roommate use it to travel to different hotspot bars and restaurants across the city, and then end up finding out that this book is probably one of the most powerful books in the world, and that the book there are other books like it in the world, and there's two factions in the world: a group of people that are trying to gather up all these books and keep them safe and prevent people from using them for nefarious deeds. And then there's a group of people, obviously, that want to use all those books for nefarious deeds. The ending will blow your mind. It feels a lot like if you watch The Umbrella Academy, sort of twisty, turny, like, oh my gosh, I didn't see that coming. And you'll be thinking about this for days. And maybe be thinking about, too, if you had a book that allowed you to travel through space and time, where would you go and what would you do? So there's some of these lighthearted moments in midst of all this sort of political juggling that's happening in the story between the two factions. So highly recommend The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown. So like I said, the holiday season is coming up. We will have some different hours next week. I want to encourage you to shop online. We'll be sort of we'll be processing online orders. We'll be open for pickup, but we're going to take the time between Christmas and New Year's to kind of, reevaluate where things need to be in the store, do some deep cleaning, do inventory, actually count the books that we have on our shelves, and then start deciding what we're going to have in the store for the next season. So place your orders online after the Christmas holiday. We'll ship them. You can pick them up during the hours we have posted. And we will see you hopefully this weekend, or maybe next week on Christmas Eve. We will be open from 10 to 2 for shopping. So we'll see you soon. Thank you for supporting us this past year. We have appreciated the support, and we look forward to seeing you in the new year as well.